Welcome back to the channel. Nathan Payne here. Let's talk about one of my favorite topics, and this is how to get a job in real estate sales. By the end of this video, everyone watching is going to know exactly how to find a job in real estate sales if this is something that you're really trying to pursue. Today we're going to be talking about what jobs really exist in real estate sales, what it takes to succeed in real estate sales, is sales dying, why you should start now if you're considering getting into real estate sales and not waiting. And one of the things that was most surprising to me is the age you should start in real estate sales. So really, guys, it all comes down to what you want to accomplish. I know I start a lot of videos off like that because it really depends. The ways that you can get into this industry, sales, real estate, I mean, there's so many different ways. I mean, you could be a contractor, you can be a rehabber, you can be a fix and flipper, you can be a landlord, property manager, you can fix and flip apartment complexes, commercial, you can do land, you can be a wholesaler, you can be a real estate agent, you can be a broker. So really it depends what kind of job you want. I mean, what are you trying to accomplish? Like, what's the lifestyle that you want for yourself? And let me tell you why I chose what I'm doing, so you can see why the lifestyle that I've picked is so important to me and how my job reflects on that. So I mean, most of you know me. I started off as a wholesaler. Now I don't refer to myself as only a wholesaler. I refer to myself as a real estate investor, a transaction engineer, deal engineer. And the reason why I got into wholesaling is because I absolutely loved the fact that I could do it virtually anywhere in the world. I mean, right now, guys, I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. That's my main market. But out of all the transactions I do in Utah, I've probably gone to about 10% of the people's houses. So I've actually driven to people's houses in Salt Lake City, Utah, where I've done deals like barely any. I don't really do it. When I first started as a wholesaler, like I thought that was so important to go meet with the seller, go shake their hand, go talk to them. And don't get me wrong, face to face, belly to belly negotiating, it will always be better than over the phone. But I have learned how to master the skill of working with sellers over the phone, gaining their confidence, meeting with them on Zoom calls, Google Meet calls, virtual calls, and it's just not something that I need to do. That's why I kind of dived into wholesaling, because I came from a background of door-to-door where I had to move all the time to go sell Dish Network door-to-door, and I didn't want that. So the lifestyle that I chose from being a wholesale real estate investor was I want to have the freedom to live where I want. And as a wholesaler, you can do deals virtually. Let me give you an example, guys. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, like I said, but I've done deals all over the country. I did one in Denver, Colorado, never saw the house, never met the seller, but we met over Zoom. I'm doing one right now in Columbia, South Carolina. Never been to Columbia, South Carolina, but doing a deal there for $19,000. I just closed one in Texas, in Victoria, Texas. Yes, I've been to Victoria, Texas. That was selling Dish, but I didn't know. I haven't been there since. And the list goes on and on. We just did a deal in American Fork and never saw the house, don't know what it smells like, doesn't know what it looks like, don't know anything about it, other than I knew I got it at a deal and I sold it to an investor. Let me think of the craziest place that I've done a deal. I mean, like Huntsville, Alabama. Don't even know where that is. Don't think I'd ever go there. No, this is the craziest place I've ever done a deal. There was one in Ohio in a town of like 200 people. And we bought an apartment complex there that was like made up of trailers. And never been there. The seller is just super old, and he's like, I'm tired of this. And I was like, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to buy this. I'm probably going to have to find an investor to work with me. And I ended up being able to wholesale it to an investor and make like $25,000 in a small little town. But it was because it was multifamily trailers, and people wanted it. So the good thing and the reason why I got into this job is because I wanted to have the lifestyle in wholesaling. Being a real estate investor, you can do it anywhere. So you're probably wondering, okay, I picked my job. Let's say you decided to be a real estate agent or a wholesaler. Let's just say that. So how do you succeed as in the sales industry of that? Let's just say those two examples. Well, it's pretty simple. You got to take a lot of action, okay? I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are, a silver tongue, like it doesn't matter how good you're communicating with people. If you only make one call a week, your chances of getting a deal are very slim. You've talked to one person, but you will always get beat out by the person that just does more volume. Because I think that the saying is talent hard work beats talent every time. Talent doesn't work hard, something like that. And that's the case. If you don't work hard, then you're not going to be that successful in sales. It doesn't matter how good you are. And I'm pretty good. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm pretty good at talking to people. But again, if I don't call enough people, then I'm going to get beat out every time by the guy that makes 5 offers a day, written offers. So if you want to be successful, one of the most important things is taking action. So taking action is important, but it's not just taking action here and there, it's consistent action. Consistency is the key. So let me talk to you about this. So like if you make calls every day for 2 hours a day, you're not going to get really burnt out. But if you at the end of the week and you haven't done calls at all and you try to knock out like 10 hours of cold calling in one day because you missed out the rest of the week, you're going to get burnt out. So that's why consistency is the key. And consistency is the key for anything in life. You want to be good, you want to work out and be stronger. You need to be consistently lifting every day. You don't get to just go to the gym and work out really hard one time and see the results that you would if you were consistently doing it. It's the same thing with sales. Or in real estate and having a job, if you're not consistent with your action, if you're not taking massive action, you're not going to see the results that you want. So you need to be consistent with your action to be successful in the real estate sales in your job. Before I move on to the next topic, I really would ask you guys to just please subscribe to the channel. I mean, it means a lot to me that my subscribers are growing. I mean, I look at it every day. I know that you probably think it's weird, but I look at it and I'm like, oh great, I got a couple more subscribers. So the fact that you're able to help me out, helps grow my channel, helps me grow my content, it means a lot. So please subscribe, like, hit the bell icon. And if you want to reach out to me, if you want to just give me a little shout out, leave me a little comment and I'll read it and I'll respond. So I've heard this is interesting. A lot of people are saying sales is dying. People don't need to talk to a sales rep. They don't need to talk to someone. They can just order something online. They don't need you. And that can be true. I mean, look at, you go to Walmart or most of the kiosks or the checkouts are, electronic. Okay, but that's not really a sales job. That's like a transaction, right? And if you go to Carvana, right, they're trying to take out the sales guys and just have someone just buy the product straight up right there. What is another example? If you go to McDonald's, you can just order from a kiosk. So some people are like, well, why should I even get a job in real estate sales? Like, is that dying? Well, look at it this way. Look at Open Door, look at Redfin, look at all these iBuyers that you have websites where you can go directly and they can make you an offer on their house and they can buy it. Those are dying. And the reason why it's dying is because it's very hard to scale that kind of business where you don't have interactions with the sellers, you don't ask them questions, you're not diving deep. Sales will never die when it comes to large transactions like real estate because it's so important. There's just too many variables that happen from a seller wanting to sell their house and the real value. You need the human touch, you need the human element in that. Unless you get it at such a low deal that it doesn't matter, but that's just not going to happen. So if you're hesitant to get into a job in the real estate industry or real estate sales because you think sales is dying, don't be hesitant. So like I told you at the beginning of this video, one of the things that shocked me the most is the age limit that people should get started into this business. And it's kind of shocking, but I've ran into a lot of investors, wholesalers, brand new people in the industry that are still in high school. If you have an excuse of when you should get into this industry, what age, the age that you should start is right now. I don't care if you're in high school, if you're 18, 19, 20, 50, 100 years old, you can get started now. Age is not a factor when it comes to real estate. And you might be like, well, I'm too young. People might think I'm too young on the phone or I sound too young when I meet them. Doesn't matter. If someone has a house and they have a problem, they're motivated, they're trying to solve their problem, and if you can solve it for them, they'd be willing to work with you. I know I look young, especially when I shave. People think I'm like a young kid, but I'm not. And that's the kind of the thing I'm trying to tell you. You can get started whenever you want. Get started now. So if you're watching this and you're not exactly sure how to get started, let me give you some pointers. Look, if you go to Facebook, there's a lot of free Facebook groups on how to wholesale, a lot of real estate investing communities. You need to start role playing. Work with your wife, work with your friend, just role play having a conversation. And there's so many sales books out there, so many books that can help you get into this job. And as you practice, you're going to get better. So if you are interested in getting into the real estate field and getting a job in sales, do it. I mean, you can do it. All you have to do is start reading, start networking, and taking action. Go do it. So listen, if you're really interested in what I've talked about and you want to take action, if you want to get into real estate, and if you even want a job, check out my mind map. It's called the Painless Wholesaling Mind Map, where I literally outline step by step the whole sales process, the whole process of how to do a deal from start to finish. I'm giving it to you. I put 5 years of all my knowledge and information into this mind map, and I specifically made it for my company and for the SOPs, and so we would understand how to do the business. But I'm giving it to you because I want you to succeed. I want you to make money. That's why I do all this. So go check it out. Check out my mind map. Click on the link.